We're underway. Tottenham with the kick-off in the blue shirts, blue shorts and blue socks. Newcastle United, as you would expect, in the black and white striped shirt, black shorts and black socks. And Tottenham this evening go with 3 changes. Kabul, Norton and Cafu come in, and they replace Dawson, Rose and Eriksson in the side that beat Everton 1-0 last Sunday. So it's Lloris in goal, a back four of Walker, Kabul, Vertonghen and Norton, a midfield of Dembele, Bentaleb and Cafu, with Lennon and Paulinho lending some support to the white-hot Emmanuel Adebayor at the moment. And for Newcastle United, just the 2 changes for them, and that sees the return of Gouffron and Cisse, big returning players for them. They have Krul in goal, who you might remember had an absolute belter at White Hart Lane. He is in goal. Back four of Debussy, Williamson, Taylor and Santon. A midfield of Gouffran, Sissoko, Imita and Sami Amiobi. Up front, Papi Cisse and Luke de Jong. Tottenham have been on the ball early on. They're trying to get down the field. Newcastle have to do some defending. It's back to Tim Krul, who clears the ball away. Let me tell you, Krul made 14 saves in that match at White Hart Lane, which Newcastle won, which is the best record ever in the Premier League since Opta started keeping their statistics, Steve. So Newcastle will look to him once again. Tottenham found it incredibly frustrating. Adebayor tried to latch onto a ball through the middle from Paulinho, but Newcastle pick it up and they send it forward to Cisse. Lovely layoff to the captain on the night, Sissoko. Cisse's back on the ball. That was a heavy ball back to Anita. He couldn't quite control the pass, and it is out for a throw in at Tottenham, right-hand side, halfway line.
Well, the one thing I have to say, since Tim Sherwood has been installed as manager, I think he's been a breath of fresh air, Andy. No nonsense, honest in press conferences, everything he says, always seems to make sense. And the one thing he has done, you've got to give him huge credit for, he has not been afraid of making big decisions. Adebayor, when he came in, brought him into the team, bringing the unknown Bentaleb into the team as well. And tonight, Dawson on the bench. So he's not afraid to upset the big names or to change him round if he feels necessary. I think that's a sign of a good manager and a brave one as well.
Voice of Steve Froggatt here on BBC London. 2 minutes in, it's 0-0 between Newcastle United and Tottenham Hotspur in the Premier League. Underway at the Emirates between Arsenal and Manchester United. What a great game that is, and we will keep you up to date with how that game is progressing. And we'll also keep you up to speed with Fulham once they kick off against Liverpool, an 8 o'clock kick-off. Everton against Crystal Palace is off. If you are tuning in for that game on the BBC London website this evening, or you know any fans who are up there, they will be heading back, I'm afraid, having not watched a game this evening. Now here comes Newcastle down the right-hand side, and it's a chance for them to get the ball into the box. Cisse is peeling off, but it will be picked up by Kyle Walker. That's a strange pass from him. He hasn't got that ball away. It's into the penalty area, and good defending, helping out back there with Cafu, and he needed to be there. What a great clearance from Walker.
Yeah, it was. You can hear the Geordie Roy just take a lot to get them off the seat. But it's really important that they're solid in this opening part of the game defensively.
Newcastle, having lost their last 3 home games, haven't lost 4 league matches in a row at St James's Park since 1987. So a proud record here at Newcastle on the line. And as we'll be hearing from our reporter Vicky Sparks, the fans can get a little bit irate, and we'll be hearing from her in just a moment as the ball is headed out. Tottenham throwing left-hand side. No sign of snow. It's actually not nearly as cold as I thought it might be. I woke up to heavy snow in Yorkshire this morning and was out playing football with my nephew Paddy at 7 o'clock this morning, Steve, which was a bit of a shock to the system. As the ball is cleared away by Tottenham at the back. Chance for them to take the ball forward, but Kabul goes back to his goalkeeper. Rare start for him this season, the Frenchman. Over the top it goes to Paulinho, who's showing a good pace to try and latch on to this one. In fact, it's Moussa Dembele who's up against Santon. He's round and pulls the ball back. Adebayor! Just a whisker past the post. Great early chance for Tottenham. The referee is indicating it got a slight nick off a Newcastle defender. It will be a corner to Tottenham. First of the game for the left-hand side.
Great strength from Moussa Dembele. He ragdolled Santon, the left back, showed great strength, pulled him aside and still had it, the awareness around him to pull the ball back to Adebayor, and really lucky because he caught it flush, didn't he? And it took a slight deflection, otherwise that was going in the bottom left-hand corner.
4 minutes in, corner from Tottenham. It's not a great one, headed away by Williamson. He ushers his fellow players in the black and white shirts out from the edge of the penalty area, saying, come on, we need to defend higher up than this. Ventelev out to the right-hand side to Kabul, who's still well forward after the corner. Tackle attempted by Sanson in the gloves. He gets a foot in, and it should be able to clear it, but Kabul's won it back against his international teammate. Paulinho's great drive and a good save from Tim Krul, who saves that up above his head. It was aimed for the top right-hand corner. It's behind for a second corner of the game to Spurs.
He's not made a great start, Sanson, is he? This time Kabul. It was funny because he won the ball off him initially, Sanson, and then Kabul uses a great strength to win it back off him. And again, from a similar position, Spurs almost scored the first goal again in the matter of a minute after the first chance. Tottenham with a short corner. He might win it back here. Newcastle, Sami Amiobi can't do so though. In comes the cross. It was a measured cross in there from the right-hand side from Norton. Walker will pick it back up on the halfway line. Capoue plays it forward in defeat to Kabul. Nice flick from him. Finds Dembele. And a little foot in from Sami Amiobi. Gets the ball out. Real rangy figure, Sami Amiobi, whose brother is famous here as the Mackham Slayer. Hasn't managed to do it though in the last two games against Sunderland at St James's Park. 0-0 in the early stages here on Tyneside. Tottenham in possession. 7 league games in a row. Newcastle has gone without keeping a clean sheet in the league. That's a ball for Adebayor to chase. It's got too much on it, and it will be out for a goal kick to Newcastle United. Let's go to Vicky Sparks, who's keeping an eye on the touchline, and Alan Partridge is already out there making his presence felt, Vicky.
He is, he hasn't sat down yet. Tim Sherwood's been up and down, but Partridge's out there in his 150th game in charge of Newcastle United, and it was interesting early on. Mita Sissoko tried to play it was Ben and Anita actually tried to play the ball forward quickly, and the pass went out on this near left-hand side towards us, and Partridge just gestured to slow down, but he set his team out in a very attacking lineup this evening, and he's trying to prove a point to the fans here, and he wants to see them go forward, but just not to panic, not to rush, to work their way down the pitch.
Thank you very much, Vicky. Part of our commentary team here on BBC London Digital Radio, Satellite TV and BBC London Online. The ball forward from a free kick for Newcastle in the penalty area, headed back across goal and almost turned in by Cisse. Somehow Maurice keeps that out and then dives on the loose ball. Great chance.
It was his new boy Luke de Jong who headed it down across back into the centre of the penalty. When the shot came off, I mean, that's again, Hugo Lloris made a really good pinpoint.
I thought it was in from Cisse.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? I mean, how many times have we seen the Spurs goalkeeper, when the ball looks beyond him, he's managed to pull a hand out. That's a great save. It's been a fantastic start to the game. Both sides started really positively.
So both keepers have made big saves already in the game. Krul from Paulinho's drive towards the top corner, and there Cisse bringing the best out of Hugo Lloris, and he's been fouled as the Senegal international. He's just having a bit of trouble with his green boots. In fact, no, it's a free kick to Tottenham. He's saying the referee that it's not being taken from the correct position. So we'll bring it back for a free kick just 5 yards in from the right-hand touchline. Walker, who took a quick free kick, of course, against Everton, which really came up trumps, playing it through to Adebayor, who finished brilliantly against the rivals for the top 4 position. A reminder that Tottenham are 5th currently in the Premier League, 3 points behind Liverpool, who are on 50 points in 4th place. Liverpool playing Fulham away this evening and in beaten Arsenal 5-1. Last weekend. Arsenal second, can go top tonight if they can beat Manchester United at home. They are on 55 points. Chelsea, the new leaders, drawing last night against West Bromwich Albion, are on 57 points. Man City, their game postponed tonight, are on 54 in 3rd place. And Newcastle, 9th position, 37 points. And some saying haven't got loads to fight for anymore, because probably have left themselves too much to do for a top 4 place, and haven't got anything to worry about down below them, because got a huge gap down to West Ham in 10th, Steve.
Yeah, the home fans wouldn't agree with that, would they?
No, absolutely not.
The level of demands up here, they demand the team to do well. After making such a good start, it's such a shame for them as their season falls away after making such a positive start. Spurs pressing really high, great work rate from the likes of Adebayor, Ventelev. They're really turning the screws on this Newcastle back forward. Great pressing.
They have sold their best player though without replacing him, so not all sweetness and light here at the moment on Tyneside. 9 minutes gone, 0-0 between Newcastle and Tottenham here on the home of London football. Sanson plays the ball in defeat here for Sissoko to try and run onto. His flick ball forward sees the ball go out to the left-hand side. He tried to run onto it himself, but Capu just got his frame in the way, and the referee says there was no foul, and play continues. Out to the right-hand side for Spurs, another foul, this time on Capu, and a free kick to Tottenham Hotspur just inside the right-hand touchline. Referee tonight is Neil Swarbrick. And conditions, thankfully, Steve, are actually very good for football at the moment. The wind is not affecting things at all. The rain's abated.
Yeah, please don't tempt fate. It's very early on in the game, and we know it's winging its way over here. I was just looking at the Spurs team as well, Andy. It's as powerful a looking Tottenham side as I've seen. You know, when you look at the players in there, physically, they dwarf Newcastle, who are in fact quite a small side, aren't they? When you look at the likes of Anita and other players like that in the side.
Cisse is trying to break away from the right-hand side for Newcastle, just inside the Tottenham half of the field. Capu comes across, gets a foot in, can't get the ball back though. Good work from Cisse, who hasn't quite replicated the form he showed when he arrived at Newcastle, when you might remember Denver Bar and Papi Cisse were unplayable at times. They were just brilliant to watch. Maybe tonight he'll be back to his best. There's a foul in midfield from Tottenham Hotspur. Johan Gouffran is down for Newcastle. Swarbrick is just holding his hand up, saying he might require some treatment here. I think he's going to be okay. He'll get back to his feet.
You get the feeling, Andy, as well with Newcastle. They're a purple patch team, aren't they? You know, they're the sort of team that they get on a good run, they stay on a good run, but you know, when things go badly, they really do suck up here in the northeast.
Gallagher then demands free kick to the home side. Hand in the air from the taker Santon. It will be floated into the penalty area from the right-hand side. Here it comes, dinked in. Header away by Capu is a good one, but it will go behind for a corner. 12 minutes on the clock, and a chance for Newcastle to send in a dangerous in-swinging corner. And this their first corner of the game.
Yeah, been very impressed with Capu early on. Not only is he won important headers at the back, but he's come out with the ball. He's looked very comfortable, hasn't he? He's set up quite a few of the Spurs attacks already. He's looked very, very accomplished.
Corner then from the left-hand side. This one floated in towards the far post. Wasn't a great punch from Maurice. They still haven't got it away. Tottenham claims for handball from the Newcastle fan. They still have the ball on the edge of the penalty area here in Newcastle. It comes out to Santon. Floats it in again. Good header away there by Vertonghen. But headed back towards the penalty area by Sami Amiobi. Up in the air it goes again. Bentelet beaten in the air by Sami Amiobi. It's as you would expect, because he's a bit of a giant. Sami Amiobi must be at least 6'4". Finally, Tottenham can clear the ball away, and it's Paulinho who plays it out to the left-hand side. Scored a great goal at Hull City, you may remember, a week or so ago. Now comes to Kyle Walker, right-hand side. Little square ball from him into Nabil Bentelet, the Frenchman who's made such an impact since being promoted to the first team by Tim Sherwood on taking over the job. Just one defeat for Tim Sherwood in the league since he's taken over as manager. What a record that is. As Walker pokes the ball between two Newcastle defenders, they sandwich him, and it will be a free kick to Tottenham, right-hand side, just in from the touchline. Let's go to Vicky Sparks quickly, who's keeping an eye on things down there on the touchline.
Yeah, it was just a comment on what Steve was saying in terms of the Geordie Roar and the expectations up here. It really can work for or against Newcastle at St James's Park. You know, at the time with Derby, the fans ended up getting on the players' back. So that's something that Tottenham can exploit this evening. If they can get the fans nervous and worried, they could be in with a chance.
Free kick here for Walker then, floats it in. Header comes in at the far post. It's just wide from Vertonghen. Really good delivery from Walker. And mighty close there, Tottenham to taking the lead, Steve.
Yeah, great delivery. It was right on the money, wasn't it, from Kyle Walker? Maybe an area of his game that he probably needs to improve as he gets older. We all know what he's got pace-wise and his recovery defensively. But that's a super ball in, great lead from Vertonghen. Again, not far away. Spurs have had three very good opportunities early on in this game, Andy.
Kick-off here was at 7:45. So just to be getting underway, we expected at Craven Cottage between Fulham and Liverpool. It's 0-0 here in Newcastle and Tottenham. Also 0-0 down in North London between Arsenal and Manchester United. Everton against Crystal Palace has been called off due to high winds. Also off tonight, Manchester City against Sunderland and Stoke against Swansea. Last we heard, kick-off delayed in that one. And having seen some of the pictures from the Britannia Stadium before the game, Steve, I can't imagine that game will be on, given the high winds in that part of the country. I mean, the corner flags were almost bent double.
Well, as you well know as well, the ends of that ground are open, and it's a very high ground, so I mean it could be farcical.
Down the left goes Sammy Amiobi. His cross is sliced badly, and that will loop into the stand behind Hugo Lloris's goal, and it will be a goal kick to Tottenham Hotspur. The Stoke games can be affected by the wind, and as you all know, Asmir Begovic is the scorer this season, wind assisted.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, it can be very affected up there. So it's quite high. What about Sammy Amiobi? He may be 6'4", but if you look at him, he doesn't look like he's any more than 8 stone wet through, does he? He really is very, very slim, let's say.
Well, he's lucky the wind's not getting up here. He could be...
It's blown away.
He is a very, very rangy wide man, but he can be very, very effective coming in off that line. He has tremendous pace, good balance. And the younger brother of Shola Amiobi, who is the longest serving player at the club, I believe, here at Newcastle United.
Look at his shorts, he looks like he could do with a pair of braces to hold him up, doesn't he?
Needs to have a couple of stoppies, so they have the breakfast up here. That's what I did when I was living up there many moons ago. Dufran has the ball on the right hand side, part of the French connection here at Newcastle, of course. Gets the ball back in the midfield. Alan Pardew, November Manager of the Month, as we were hearing earlier on in the programme, and some were saying he should have won French Manager of the season. As Paulinho plays the ball out to the left-hand side to Adebayor, his touch doesn't come off, but here's Lennon arriving at pace. Lovely little dink ball into Paulinho, doesn't get the return, and Newcastle can clear the ball away. Norton tries to pick it up, comes out to the left-hand side. Tottenham will keep possession through Adebayor. They've got 2 in the middle. Paulinho's running in, but the ball will be far too close for the goalkeeper, Tim Krul.
Well, the Newcastle left-back Sanson is having an absolute shocker at the moment. He's given the ball away at least 3 times. Maybe an area to pinpoint a little more often. You could tell him, anybody down this side, just to get him one-on-one. Unfortunately, Aaron Lennon's on the opposite side at the moment, isn't he? Dembele's playing on this near side. I'd get Aaron Lennon on him just for a few minutes and get the ball out to him.
Ball forward for Newcastle, headed away by Kabul at the back. It's up in the air. Anita tries to help it forward. He isn't the tallest by any stretch of the imagination. Must be about 5'5", Anita, but really does scurry around in that midfield area. Alan Pardew's side only won one of their last 7 league matches, failing to score in the other 6, and that will tell you why the pressure's just started to build here, despite the fact that they had that brilliant first half of the season. That's a very decent run down the right-hand side for Newcastle from Debuchy, and he tries to find Luke de Jong down that right-hand side. The new signing here, a player that was very, very close to signing for Tottenham a couple of years ago. They were tracking him when he was at FC Twente and saying we really want him to come over, but he's ended up coming to Newcastle. So Tottenham come forward with Bentaleb. Another Frenchman on the field tonight. Gets round his man. Can he pick out a cross here towards the near post? Comes to Adebayor! Simplest of finishes! He's done it again! And he salutes the Newcastle fans in the stand behind Tim Krul's goal. This time, Krul can't stop Tottenham. He was the only man that stood between them and goals on the last occasion at White Hart Lane, but he can't stop the red-hot Emmanuel Adebayor. It's Newcastle 0, Tottenham 1.
Well, at the very start, Tim Sherwood's managerial decisions to bring in 2 players, and they 2 paid off very, very handsomely there. Bentaleb showed great strength, didn't he? Down that left-hand side, shoved off the challenge, got into the box, and he whipped in an absolutely pin-perfect cross. And all Tim Krul could do was put an outstretched arm to it and palm it straight into the run of Adebayor. Well, he wouldn't have had an easier finish. But he was there on the spot, and the fact is, with his desire and hunger at the moment, and he sprinted 60 yards to show desire to get on the end of that.
It was Simples in the end, 2 yards out, but he's always there, that's the thing, isn't it? And as for Bentaleb, brilliant stuff. Voice of Steve Froggatt alongside myself, Andy Rowley, here at St James's Park, where Tottenham having an early lead, 0-0 at the other games between Fulham and Liverpool, and Arsenal and Manchester United. We will keep you up to date with those games. Let's go to Vicky Sparks, who was keeping an eye on the managers as that goal went in. Vicky.
Yes, both managers stand.
Well, we'll come back to Vicky in a second, because here come Newcastle. Sammy Amiobi's shot is deflected out for a throw in Newcastle. Back to you, Vicky.
Yeah, I was just watching the fans actually when Adebayor did his celebration. Not very impressed because the Tottenham fans are all the way at the other end of the ground, right up in the top left-hand corner of that stand. So, but Adebayor having the last laugh so far.
So Adebayor absolutely on fire at the moment, and another goal. And now Tottenham are looking to try and really take this advantage home. Adebayor on the ball again, halfway line. Good tackle back from David Santon. He's claiming a foul there, Adebayor. I don't think he can get anything out of that one. Good play from Santon in my book. Newcastle are back in possession, and we'll go back to Williamson at the back
for the giant Spurs striker. I mean, he really has been rejuvenated, hasn't he? Only a few weeks before Tim took over, he was in the wilderness, wasn't he, training with the kids, nowhere to be seen, and all of a sudden he's been given a chance.
Superb stuff from the Togo international. It's just quite incredible how it turned around for him. And here he is on the ball again, holding it up on the halfway line. The Newcastle fans are not happy because they want their team to start to show a bit more fight. Stephen Taylor has to go back to his goalkeeper, and it's cleared away upfield. 8th goal of the season then for Adebayor, and they've all come in this brilliant spell he's been having since being recalled to the team in December. Tim Sherwood out on the touchline, barking out the orders. Very much a hands-on coach when he's out there on the touchline. 21 minutes gone here at St James's Park. Newcastle 0, Tottenham 1. Headed away at the back there by Williamson. Comes back to him on the edge of the penalty area. Now Taylor. He's going to look upfield. He's going to play it to the halfway line. There's Lennon to pick it up. And Lennon playing down the left at the moment. He's almost playing centrally, really, isn't he, Steve? It's very rare you see Lennon anywhere other than the right-hand side, but he's playing almost in behind Adebayor, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's very difficult to criticise so early on because Spurs have started so well, but I think the only thing I would say is when he's coming inside, he's closing up any gaps that are in there for the midfield. I'd rather him just keep his width on that side, but he's not very comfortable on his left-hand side, is he? So he's always looking to come inside on his right all the time.
1-0, Tottenham lead here at Newcastle, and there's been a goal very early on at Craven Cottage. Fulham against Liverpool, Emma Jones.
And it's Fulham 1, Liverpool 0. The goal scored by Tolo Torre, an own goal. Kieran Richardson pulling the ball into the 6-yard box, and the defender turning it past his own keeper. Rennie Munisi won't care how the goals are scored. This team lead Liverpool 1-0.
What an amazing scoreline. You never know what's going to happen in the Premier League, do you? Fulham having taken the lead against Liverpool. We'll keep you up to speed with how that game progresses. Up against the SAS. Some were saying the SAS, when the goals were flying in from Skirtle and Sterling as well the other day, Steve. And they're going to have to watch out for all of them tonight, Fulham. But they lead at Craven Cottage. Still 0-0 between Arsenal and Manchester United. But it's 1-0 to Spurs up here in the northeast against Newcastle. Emmanuel Adebayor with his 8th goal of the season. Paulinho, what a ball that is to Walker. He's so quick. Can anyone keep up with him? Maybe Lennon can. Out it comes to Adebayor. Heavy touch from him, and it's gone behind off a Newcastle player for a corner to Spurs. So close to another goal, but really it was tricky for anyone to keep up with Walker there.
Well, my first thought was that's got to be a penalty, because the two Newcastle defenders were behind Aaron Lennon when he went down. I'd love to see it as a replay, but brilliant play down the right side from Spurs. Carl Walker got in behind, brilliant cross across the face of the goal, and Aaron Lennon could only been a whisker away from putting down the back of the net.
Corner from the left-hand side, it's floated in, and it will go beyond Stephen Taylor and out for a goal kick. Vertonghen can keep that in, just too much on it. It will be a goal kick to Newcastle United.
I think Tim Sherwood maybe thinks the same thing, because he's looking at his coaching staff and saying, surely for him to have gone down where he did, the two Newcastle defenders were behind him when he went down, so either it was a brilliant tackle from behind.
Paulinho closes down Stephen Taylor. The ball loops up off the Brazilian and into the gloves of Tim Krul, who will drop the ball to the turf and send it upfield, looking for Luke de Jong. It's well over his head, the Dutchman, and it will go out for a It won't go out for throw. Tottenham will keep it in. Newcastle are back in possession, and it will be played across the field. Stephen Taylor not expecting that. Every time something goes wrong, there are howls of derision. It's really a difficult place to play your football, I imagine, if you're a player in a black and white shirt at the moment. Playing for Newcastle United. 1-0 Spurs lead. Everton against Palace off tonight, as is weekend between Manchester City and Sunderland. Late kick-off for Stoke. And the ball is played over the top. Cisse might get to this one. Just before the goalkeeper. Flicks it over the head of the goalkeeper, Kiko Lloris. Vertonghen shields the ball out because it goes just past the post. And it is a goal kick. That was close from Cisse. And if that had been on target, probably would have been a goal, Steve Froggatt.
Oh, it's a really super first half of football, isn't it? I mean, both sides are showing real intent. Brilliant diagonal ball from Sami Amiobi. And Jan Vertonghen, he was scrambling all the way, wasn't he? And when Cisse launched the ball over, it looked like he was going to go. I think maybe the wind actually held it up in the end of Vertonghen. He rectified his own error and got the ball away, but it's a really good first half.
He's on the ball again here, Cisse, and he's got support down the middle if he can manage to find it. An awful clearance from Kabul, helped out there at the back. And in the end, Kabul managed to get the ball away, and it's cleared by Vertonghen. But that was another hairy moment in the defence for Tottenham Hotspur. Newcastle picking up again with Mike Williamson at the back. The 6'4" defender. He's now 30 years of age, born in Stoke-on-Trent, played at Wickham under Tony Adams many moons ago, having to play at the moment in central defence, always plays there, but having to play there starting in the absence of Fabrizio Colaccini, but has played a lot this season in the absence of one or the other of the main centre-halves, you might say, with Stephen Taylor having missed much of the season thus far. Throw in the Tottenham left-hand side. Referee's just making sure it's taken from the right spot. Let's go back to Vicky Sparks down on the touchline.
To sneak a look at a very small replay screen at foul, the challenge for, I think it was Williamson on Lennon, and it looks, Steve, as though he might have just managed to sneak in as Lennon slightly overrun the ball and Williamson managed to get his leg round it, but might need to see it again.
Thank you, Vicky. Tottenham back in possession, edge of the penalty area. Paulinho trying to get the ball across to Dembele, who got forward well in support, but he couldn't reach it. Cisse, brilliant touch, and here come Newcastle on the left-hand side with Sissoko. Long-range strides from him, almost found Cisse on the return pass, but that was brilliant. Working back there for Etienne Capoue, and the former Toulouse man gets the ball away, but he's dispossessed on the halfway line by Cisse. There was some talk that he might be leaving the club, only having just arrived in the summer, Capoue. But that was when Bentaleb had come into the side. But Tim Sherwood was just saying, I haven't really seen much of the guy, so I'm going with what I know, but now getting a chance in the side once again. Tottenham given away a foul right in the corner of the field, next to the corner flag. Santon brought down by Kyle Walker. 28 minutes gone. Free kick to Newcastle United. Vicky Sparks.
Yeah, and that decision and when Kabul lost the ball in midfield were the first two displays of emotion we've seen from Tim Sherwood down on the touchline. Both earned a punch in the direction of the pitch. Not happy down there at the moment, the Spurs manager.
Thanks very much, Vicky. Free kick. Just a yard in from the left touchline for Newcastle, and they're going to try and swing this one in, and they've got plenty of players forward. In it goes. Luke de Jong just missed it. Taylor will keep it in at the far side of the penalty area. Strange stuff across from him, and Adebayor will just play the ball out nice and simple to Vertonghen. Floats it forward towards Lennon. That'll be cut out by Mathieu Debuchy. Headed away by Capoue, centre field. We'll have to do another one of those. Gets it forward. Got loads of distance on that header. Was knocked off his feet by Luke de Jong. Free kick to Neil Swarbrick. And might be a word for Luke de Jong here as well. Alan Pardew makes copious notes in his little notepad.
Well, both teams are working really hard, aren't they? And every time the opposition get the ball quick, you see it so many times. When the Newcastle back four get the ball, Spurs are like greyhounds at the traps, aren't they? Right on top of them. And there's been a few mistakes made, passes given away, and you can hear the Newcastle fans right on the players' backs as soon as that happens. It must be music to the Spurs bench's ears.
Free kick for Spurs, who lead by a goal to nil. We've had 29 minutes of the first half here on Tyneside. The free kick is well overhit and out for a throw-in. Let's see if we can go to the Emirates Stadium, shall we? Arsenal are playing Manchester United this evening, and you'll listen to BBC London on digital radio, satellite TV and online this evening. As the ball is played over the top, Laurie comes out to take it. So Arsenal against Manchester United. Let's go to our reporter there, Onka Desai.
Yeah, Andy, it's currently Arsenal 0, Manchester United 0. 15 minutes to go in this first half. Ball on the edge of the Manchester United penalty area. If you just stay with them for a second, it's currently 0, but Manchester United could have taken the lead in the first minute. Robin van Persie robbed Mikel Arteta on the edge of the penalty area. He was 1-on-1 with Chesney and he shot right at the keeper. We had a couple of shots from range from Arsenal, nothing to test David De Gea, but at the moment Manchester United will be happy just to have kept a clean sheet where many people have written off their chances already. 15 minutes to go. It's Arsenal 0, Manchester United 0.
Thank you very much indeed, Onka. Tottenham on the attack again while you were down at the Emirates Stadium. It was Lennon picking the ball up, edge of the penalty area. He slightly scuffed his shot, but it turned out that it was very difficult for Krul to deal with. Turned onto the post. It is a corner to Tottenham from the left-hand side. And my goodness, that was close to being 2-0 to Spurs. It'll be swung in from the left-hand side then. Edge of the penalty area is Moussa Dembele, but it'll go in towards the near post, headed away by Gouffran. It'll be a shot from distance from Norton, and that was a little hopeful perhaps. Good hand in the crowd, and it's shot back down to Tim Krul, the Dutchman, who's putting the ball up. Signed way back in 2006, and took advantage of an injury to Steve Harper way back when to establish himself and hasn't looked back. Once upon a time, though, a target for Tottenham before he came to English football. As was Luke de Jong, who's chasing this ball down the middle of the field. Vertonghen gets back there, and Spurs will try and clear the ball away. Fair to say, Steve, that Tottenham have been the better side so far.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, I've been really impressed. It's been a real powerful performance. Again, can't help being hugely impressed with Bentaleb as well.
Adebayor picking the ball up right-hand side. He's spotted Lennon, but it will be headed away by the defender, Debuchy, just in front of the diminutive Tottenham midfielder. Sliding tackle from Vertonghen on Sami Amiobi, but only takes the ball into the path of Johan Gouffran. It's a good deep cross from him. If Luke de Jong can keep it in, no, he can't. Sorry. That wasn't such a good cross in the end. Gave it a bit more credit that it deserved. And obviously there's a bit of a breeze there because that floated and picked up a bit of pace. And you can see the netting in the goal just flickering in the breeze at the moment. Those Tottenham fans up in the heavens away to our left will be very, very happy at the moment. And just hearing a scoreline from the Britannia Stadium, Stoke City are beating Swansea by 1-0. Peter Crouch, the former Tottenham striker, with the goal in that one. So it has gone ahead, which I am baffled by, I have to say, because that stadium is probably the most open of any you could see, certainly in the top flight, and the wind does whistle through. They've got some defending to do here, Tottenham. It's Luke de Jong on the ball, he's trying to get a shot away. Tottenham trying to get the ball away. He thought he was going to get his first goal for Newcastle early on, but Tottenham, in the end, fouled. It was Cafu brought down just outside his penalty area. Free kick to Spurs, and a chance for them to clear their lines. Let's go back to Vicky Sparks down there on the touchline. The Tottenham coaches looking very animated at the moment, Vicky.
Yeah, just having a bit of a conversation with each other. Tim Sherwood just seemed to have calmed down a little bit after that frustration of that little good spell for Newcastle, but Alan Pardew as well having a word with one of his coaching staff. Those managers, I think, just trying to work out the best way for their team to go forward tactically. But as you say, Tottenham on top and Newcastle fans cheering a free kick. They will get behind their team if they feel they're being hard done by the referee.
I imagine the Tottenham fans saying, Diddums.
It's funny watching Tim Sherwood just there. I mean, we're very close to him. He's like a cat on a hot tin roof. He's kicking every single ball. And it's great to see that desire and passion. He wants his team to do well so badly.
Ball is floated into the penalty area. That's a brilliant header back across the box by Williamson. Tottenham try and shield the ball. Sami Amiobi dragged the shot wide from the edge of the penalty area. Tried to catch that on the half volley. Never on target, despite being quite a powerful hit. Of course, part of the Tottenham coaching team. Zalez, Ferdinand, who was a huge player for Newcastle, wasn't he, in years gone by, Steve?
Yeah, massive favourite here. His partnership with Alan Shearer is part of folklore up here, and he's very well respected.
You can see one of the best headers of the ball that you've seen in the Premier League. I mean, he had an all-round game, didn't he? But
he was. I mean, he had just a phenomenal league, didn't he? And he was so powerful.
Hung in the air, didn't he?
Funny, he wasn't the tallest. You know, when you look at the size of some of the modern-day strikers, he wasn't the tallest anymore, but he had such a physicality about him, and he just hang time. You know, there's a few strikers over the years that had that, but he really had that ability to stay in the air.
An absolute powerhouse as well. A great guy, Les Ferdinand, on the coaching staff here at the Tottenham Hotspur tonight. And I'm sure that there will have been a few people that he would have recognised as he entered St James's Park, would have brought back a lot of fond memories for him. Kyle Walker will have a throw in just in front of the Newcastle manager, Alan Pardew, just down below us. It's only about 15 metres away, if that, 10 metres away from where we're sitting at the moment in the commentary position here at St James's Park. 1-0 Tottenham lead thanks to Adebayor. It's also 1-0 at Craven Cottage. Tolo Torre with an own goal. It's not going his way at the moment, is it, Steve?
No,
after that,
but it's a significant result
against West Brom.
Yeah, well, it's a significant result for all Spurs fans listening in as well. Of course, if Liverpool do get beaten, Spurs win here tonight, well, that will be a massive bonus.
Yeah, they'd be cracking open the champagne on the quayside tonight if that happens, the Newcastle fans. But a long, long way to go in both games. And the slenderest of leads, as Krul sends the ball upfield. It's picked up by Debussy, right-hand side, halfway line for Newcastle. Tries to help it on to Buffon. He can't quite keep that ball on the right-hand side, and Tottenham have it again in the centre circle with Dembele. Quite a fluid formation that Tottenham have here this evening. Lennon seems to be just floating in behind the striker Adebayor, but he keeps peeling out to the left. Paulinho then moves in up front. It's something you've noticed having watched them of late, Steve.
Yeah, but the only thing I'll say again, it's very narrow. I mean, if you look where Dembele's played, he's playing on the centre spot. You know, there's a lot of width out here on the left-hand side. Aaron Lennon, he keeps coming in. So, and maybe I think at times they're all stepping on top of each other in those central areas because they're running into one another. I just wonder whether Tim might change that a little bit, or just get Aaron Lennon just to get some chalk on his boots, just to add a bit of width. It's a big pitch, St James's Park, and you should use the width of it.
Man United got some chalk on their boots on Sunday, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, it just shows you the importance of getting width. You know, you can have a credit. I mean, saying that, it's been a really good performance in the first half.
That's a great ball down the line. It's Buffon into the penalty area for Newcastle. Straight across the face of goal, but a sliding interception on the edge of his 6-yard box there from Norton. And it is behind for a corner to Newcastle from the right-hand side, and Santon will be the man to go over and take it.
Well, they're still really causing the problems, aren't they? Especially down that right-hand side where Debussy and Gouffran have been a real threat, haven't they? They've overlapped each other a few times and in good pace in this Newcastle side.
The voice of Steve Broggett, former Premier League winger and regular part of our commentary team here on BBC London. That's a ball into the edge of the 6-yard box from the corner, headed away by Moussa Dembele. And the Belgian midfielder finds Nabil Bentaleb, who's cool as a cucumber on the ball, plays it out to Paulinho, and he's got men motoring forward. One of them is Kyle Walker. He's got Kabul coming forward outside him. Is he going to play it down the line for Kabul? He is. Right-footed cross coming in from Kabul. It's claimed by Krul into the 6-yard box, and Aaron Lennon looks really disappointed with that cross in the end, but what an effort from Kabul to come forward from centre half. He has played fullback before for Tottenham, quite a few times actually, a couple of seasons ago, but that cross not quite coming off on that occasion, and Tottenham have been pushed right the way back to the halfway line. Vicky Sparks has spotted something down there on the touchline corner.
Yes, and Tim Sherwood actually almost straight onto the pitch there. He was so frustrated that cross from Kabul didn't find a teammate again to punch towards the pitch, screaming in frustration. But it was Sherwood, you were mentioning the width on his right-hand side, Steve. It was Sherwood who gestured as Kabul and Walker were making the runs. Get over to the right-hand side.
Thank you, Vicky. He's having a little chuckle actually with a fan just behind his dugout there, Tim Sherwood. A little bit of banter. And the ball is played out from the back again by Newcastle, but they're getting caught out a little bit, aren't they, Steve? When they are trying to play it out from the back, the pressing has actually been excellent from Tottenham.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a real feature of the first half for Spurs, and I mean, the young boy, Bentaleb, has been absolutely out of this world. It shows maturity beyond his years, Andy. You know, he's so cool on the ball.
Just 21 years of age, as Sissoko breaks forward for Newcastle. They'll have to watch out here. He's got it back from De Jong. Sissoko's blasted it over. Great chance, edge of the centre circle, really good, unselfish play from Luke de Jong, just what you want from a front man with his back to goal. Laid it into the path of the on-rushing midfielder, and Sissoko just couldn't compose himself on the finish.
Yeah, good play from Newcastle again. You know, they do look a threat, don't they? Especially on the counter-attack themselves. And if we go back to the signings, Tim was questioned about his lack of signings in the transfer window. I think people need to look at the boy he's got in the middle of the park. It looks almost like he's just signed a £20 million midfielder for free.
1-0, Tottenham lead up here at St James's Park. As Dembele picks the ball up on the right-hand side of midfield. Sammy Amiobi is trying to get the ball back off him, but you don't get it back off Dembele very easily, as we recognise that he's come to English football. Former Fulham player, Fulham leading Liverpool by a goal to nil. We'll be across there shortly as we head to our other featured games for a quick roundup. As the ball is played forward down the left-hand side by Norton, picked up by Aaron Lennon. He will look for support infield. Walker's showing for him. Here's Adebayor as well. A touch from Adebayor. From both players, you probably think that wasn't intended, but with Adebayor, I'm sure it was. A little flick between his legs. Up in the air it went to Walker.
Yeah, I mean,
that was something, wasn't it?
I mean, you can tell his confidence levels are sky high.
Lovely touch from him into Lennon. Adebayor helps it back to Aaron Lennon. Squares it. Bentaleb was going to hit it. Paulinho got in his way, but he manages to have the presence of mind to play it to Kyle Walker. The rain's coming down heavily again here in Newcastle as the ball is played back to the halfway line. Tottenham are really showing some silky skills at the moment. It's great football to watch.
Yeah, it is. Again, the only thing I would say on this near side, Moussa Dembele, he's so reluctant to go on the outside, isn't he? He turned in on his left back, he doesn't want to go on his right hand side, and he ran straight to a wall of 4 Newcastle players.
Here he is again, coming in on that left foot, plays it square. Bentaleb will pick it up. Good challenge from Anita, and he gets it forward to Tite. He's immediately lost it. The ball nicks it off his toes, plays it to Vertonghen. The rain is teeming down now as Lennon flicks the ball infield to Paulinho. We're actually at the mercy of the elements here, because we've just got a little shield to protect our worktop, our desk that our computers and everything are on, but the rain does manage to sweep in onto us in the stands, but not to worry. Back goes the ball, gets the ball out as Cisse tries to break through the middle, and it will be a throw-in to Newcastle United. Thrown in down the line by Sammy Amiobi. Santon will pick it up, square from him to Anita. Really fluid game this, great to watch at the moment. Ball through from Anita. Luke de Jong is chasing it too much on it. Goal kick. Let's take this opportunity to go to our other featured games. It's Arsenal against Manchester United at the Emirates Stadium. Reporting for BBC London, Onka Desai. Just 2.5 minutes or so to go till the end of this first half. It's Arsenal 0, Manchester United 0. United with the best chance in the first minute, really. Van Persie blocked Arteta on the edge of the penalty area. 1-on-1 with Chesney, and he shot right at the goalkeeper. It's been a bit end-to-end for the first 10 minutes of this half, Andy, but as the second half's gone, and it's been a bit teetering out, really. There's opportunity on the edge of the penalty area for Cazorla to have a shot straight at the Manchester United defence. A minute and a half to go, and it's Arsenal 0, Manchester United 0. Thank you, Anka. We'll be back with you at half-time for a more detailed report of how things have gone in that first period. But it's still goalless in that one. A huge game between Arsenal and the champions Manchester United. They will not be defending that title, will they? As the ball is played forward down the middle by Dembele, picked up at the back by Santon. 8 o'clock kickoff it was at Craven Cottage between Fulham and Liverpool. Let's cross to that game, to Emma Jones.
And Fulham still leading by a goal to nil. That goal scored by Kolo Toure and OG after Kieran Richardson pulled the ball into the 6-yard box, and he turned it past his own keeper. It's not been his night. Since then he's not played, but the referee spills out. Fulham 1, Liverpool 0.
He takes some knocking over as well, Big Phil. Thank you very much, Emma. Doesn't he, Steve?
Oh yeah.
Well, Kolo Toure having a tough time at the moment. Dembele plays it out to the right-hand side. Walker nicks the ball past Santon and tries to win it back on the goal line. It's a free kick given away by the former Sheffield United defender. His old club not in action tonight. Game against Brentford called off due to the waterlogged pitch and the conditions there at Bramall Lane. Also called off tonight, Everton against Crystal Palace. I'm sad to say that's a late call off, but safety paramount with the extremely high winds. A red weather alert this evening, which is the highest alert you can have, has been called, and that means that that game is off. Man City against Sunderland the game that was going to be a precursor to the League Cup final, also called off tonight, but Stoke against Swansea, and somehow managed to get that game on, which was very mind-boggling for myself and Steve Froggatt here at St James's Park. Vicky Sparks also alongside us here in the commentary team, with Tottenham had some defending to do on their own goal line. It's put behind for a corner to Newcastle, and in fact to find out how much added time there is going to be at the end of this first half, and just the 1 minute. And, that's about right, I think. There hasn't been too many stoppages. The Jasper Carrot lookalike might be on the board up. Headed away by Tottenham. Shot comes in from Santon, and it's straight down the throat of his international teammate Hugo Lloris, who clutches the ball gratefully to his chest. And we're into that minute of stoppage time now at the end of the half. Played upfield by Lloris. Forward it goes, over the head of Sammy Amiobi, and Adebayor will keep the ball in on the touchline, just about. Brings the ball back down the line to Moussa Dembele, is lending good support. Now a chance for Capu to come forward. He's looking for support out of the right-hand side. Adebayor, lovely little drag back to get away from Sammy Amiobi. Brings Paulinho into the play. Another goal now would really be a sickener for Newcastle, and would be huge for Tottenham at the end of the first half. Slightly reluctant at the moment to send the ball forward to the edge of the penalty area. Whistle from the Newcastle fans who want the half-time whistle, and there it is from Neil Swarbrick. Half-time here at St James's Park, and listen to that. Not happy, the Newcastle fans. They haven't had 4 league defeats in a row here since 1987. And that's what they're staring down the barrel of at the moment, though, as their players trudge off. Tottenham's players will be feeling very good about themselves after beating Everton on Sunday. At the moment, they lead here at St James's Park by 1-0, and Fulham are beating Liverpool down at Craven Cottage. It's 0-0 between Arsenal and Manchester United. So at the moment, things seem to be going Tottenham's way. Half-time here at St James's Park. It's Newcastle 0, Tottenham 1. Back underway here at St James's Park. You just heard the referee's whistle, Neil Swarbrick in the background there, and it's Tottenham leading by 1-0. Jamie, professional as ever there, just whipping through those sports stories for us, with the second half kicking off a little earlier than we expected here at St James's Park. Back underway, 1-0 Tottenham lead, thanks to the goal midway through that first half from Emmanuel Adebayor. And there was a change at the break there for Newcastle United. Vicky Sparks, who is alongside us here at St James's Park, is keeping an eye on all things down on the touchline. And Vicky, who's come off, who has come on?
Yes, Paul Dummett, young left back, has come on for Davide Santon, so it's a straight swap. Dummett actually played at left back against Chelsea at the weekend when Santon played the midfielder position. He played under Jose Mourinho at Inter Milan, but straight swap at half-time. Paul Dummett on for Davide Santon.
Thank you, Vicky. As the ball is played forward by Newcastle, Hugo Lloris comes quickly off his line and has to actually head that ball out for a throw-in on the right-hand side for Newcastle. I will run you through the two teams in just a moment at the start of this second half. A reminder, 1-1 between Fulham and Liverpool at Craven Cottage. It's 0-0 between Arsenal and Manchester United. Second half in that one just getting underway. And it's 1-0 here to Tottenham on Tyneside. So this is how they line up at the start of this second half. Tottenham have Hugo Lloris in goal, a back four of Walker, Kabul, Vertonghen and Norton. A midfield now of Dembele, Paulinho, Bentaleb, Capu and Lennon, with Adebayor up front. For Newcastle United, it is Debussy at right back, just in front of goalkeeper Tim Krul. Mike Williamson and Stephen Taylor are the centre halves, and Paul Dummett has come on for David Santon. A midfield now of Johan Gouffran, who is Stoke captain, Vernon Anita and Sammy Amiobi, and Papi Cisse is alongside Luc de Jong up front. Tottenham looking to clear the ball away, but it will be a head injury, a knock there to Nabil Bentaleb. He's okay. Referee had to stop the play due to always taking the most care when there's a head injury. It will be a drop ball, I suggest, here between Tottenham and Newcastle for Neil Swarbrick to organise. Drops the ball, Newcastle put it out, Tottenham throwing deep in their own half, left-hand side. On the bench for Newcastle tonight, Rob Elliott, former Charlton goalkeeper, Hassan Ben Arthur, who started the last game, Mapu Yanga Mbiwa, in centre-half, Dan Gosling, Sylvain Marvo, Shola Amiobi, and Paul Dummett has already come on for David Santon. Newcastle have the ball on the right hand side. Sissoko down the line, wraps his foot round the cross, comes off the defender, Vertonghen, and is back to Hugo Lloris, the goalkeeper. And for Tottenham Hotspur, Brad Friedel is the goalkeeping cover, Roberto Soldado, Andros Townsend, Michael Dawson, Nasser Chadley, Christian Eriksen, and Harry Kane. Half time at Craven Cottage, Fulham 1, Liverpool 1. We will be back there in the second half to find out if Fulham can either get another one to get themselves back in the lead, or whether they can hold on to the scoreline as it is at the moment. As Mark Lawrenson said on the BBC the other night, if you said they get 2 points out of Manchester United and Liverpool, they would have bit your hands off. Alongside me, Andy Rowley here at St James's Park. You heard at Vicky Sparks. Also alongside me is the former England winger Steve Froggatt. And Steve, Tottenham, second half, is it a case of keep on doing what you were doing? There was a couple of things you thought they might be able to do even better.
Yeah, it's just width-wise. I mean, it's no surprise David Santon's come off because he had an absolute shocker in that first half. He's got Dummihon. That's an area where, I think Newcastle needed to make a change.
Back it goes to Williamson. Plays it out to the left-hand side. Can't help when I hear his name thinking of that film with Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels. As the ball breaks down the left-hand side, Sammy Amiobi is fit to test, and Kyle Walker can try and race away. That's a good tackle coming in though on him, and Sammy Amiobi is back on the ball again for Newcastle, squares it, Gouffran through the middle. He was looking for Luke de Jong, might come to Debussy, but Lennon picks it off, and here comes Tottenham on the breakout. It's Paulinho coming forward, Lennon's with him, tries to cut back inside. The man who's worked really hard to get back alongside of Gouffran there, who showed real pace, because Lennon is no slouch. Newcastle got the ball back, trailing by goal to nil.
Yeah, they made a real strong start to the second half, Andy. And obviously, I think the manager got a flea in their ear at half time, and at times he wasn't good opportunity defensively. Spurs just need to continue what they did. It's very easy when you come away, particularly St James's Park, you have a 1-0 lead, you almost then maybe psychologically too early try and hold on to that 1-goal lead, don't you? And Spurs need to be wary of that. They need to play with the same attacking flair and intent in the high pressing game that they did in that first half.
BBC London Sport on digital radio, satellite TV and online. We're live here at St James's Park this evening. Newcastle 0, Tottenham 1. Elsewhere, as you heard earlier, Everton against Crystal Palace was called off very late before kick-off, and that was due to the high wind that are battering the northwest of England. We hope fans can get back safely from there. Stoke are leading Swansea 1-0. That is a late kick-off. It wasn't meant to be a 8 o'clock kick-off, but that's pretty much where they started that one because of the high winds they were experiencing there at the Britannia Stadium. We saw corner flags bent double and girls almost being blown away on the touchline before that game on the TV screens. But 1-0 Stoke lead thanks to a goal from the former Tottenham forward Peter Crouch. Elsewhere this evening, Fulham 1, Liverpool 1, Arsenal 0, Manchester United 0. They're underway in the second half there at the Emirates. We'll keep you posted on what's happening there in North London, but sticking with commentary here on the home of London football of Newcastle's game against Tottenham. It's a floated long ball forward over the head of Emmanuel Adebayor. He was never quite going to reach that, but he admired the intention and he gave a big thumbs up to that one.
I just think you have to be a little bit careful, Andy, playing those long straight balls with the conditions the way they are. I mean, that just flew off the surface, the wind's behind them. If anything, it's a long diagonal ball that you need to be looking for. Ben Club, that's the one he's looking for now.
Paulinho out to the right-hand side, and it's Dembele trying to come infield from that right touchline. If he comes onto that trusty left foot of his, plays it back into midfield to Etienne Capoue. He will move it out to the right-hand side where Adebayor will flick a ball around the corner. He's asking a lot there of Kyle Walker, even with his pace, out for a goal kick to Newcastle United. Let's go back to Vicky Sparks. Just one substitution made so far, but as we've seen so far, both managers out on the touchline throughout.
Yes, and again a little shout of frustration from Tim Sherwood. Stevie said earlier that he kicks every ball. He certainly is doing that this evening. Alan Pardew just emerging from his dugout as well, gesturing to his players, trying to reshuffle them a little bit tactically. But both managers just pacing their technical areas at the moment, knowing this game is finally in the balance.
Thank you very much, Vicky. As the ball breaks in midfield to Adebayor. Now Nabil Bentaleb coming forward from midfield. Lovely flick from Paulinho. Adebayor again. What a save from Krul. Comes out of Paulinho. He tucks it in. And it's 2-0 to Tottenham Hotspur at St James's Park. They haven't won here in almost a decade in the league. Maybe their luck is finally changing tonight. Great work from Adebayor once again. Krul kept it out. Couldn't stop Paulinho from 6 yards. It's Newcastle 0, Tottenham 2.
He had a massive fist bump from Tim Sherwood on the line, and rightly so. I mean, the goal in certain ways very similar to the first one they scored. It was an excellent save by Tim Krul, wasn't it? And all he could do was push it out. And like the first goal, it was the Spurs players that reacted first. And again, such a simple finish to make it 2-0 to Tottenham. What a huge goal that was, and we could well see the home crowd turn now 2-0 down. That is a massive blow for the home side.
Paulinho, that's what they're singing up there.
They're very noisy, the Spurs fans. I mean, they are up in the guns up there, aren't they, to our left-hand side, but so you can hear them louder than anything else in the ground.
So important though, isn't it, when a striker like Adebayor gets in that position, hitting the target. How many times do we see people putting it wide from there, and by drawing that save, it meant that Paulinho could latch onto the rebound.
I think you just can't believe how good Adebayor's been since he's got back into the side. I mean, he's been outstanding tonight. And the thing that impresses me most is his voracious appetite for work. Well, that's not Emmanuel Adebayor, is it? He's not known for his his work rate, his appetite to close people down, but and that low roll up front on his own, he's working the back four, he's driving those. And the thing is as well, if you're a midfielder, if you've got a striker like that, if you see him chasing around everywhere, you can't help but want to join in. You want to help your mate, you want to get alongside, and that's exactly what the midfield players have done for Spurs tonight.
When he's playing like this, he's top 4 quality. Absolutely no doubt about it.
Unstoppable,
He's the best of any other team in the league, isn't he? Outside the top 4.
I mean, if you look at the lad, he's 6'3", 4", isn't he? So he's a great physical specimen, great feet, he's quick. I mean, he's got absolutely everything, the boy, isn't he? But he always has done. I think the only question has always been is his attitude. But whatever Tim's done, he's bringing the very, very best out of the lad.
Well, I'm sure it must have helped that when he was devoted to train with the youth team, that Tim Sherwood was there with the development side, and he was saying, we'll look after you down here, you keep trying hard, you keep training. And that friendship that they developed, that respect, has paid off. Here he is again on the ball, played off by Bentaleb, plays it square. Paulinho is looking for Dembele to make a run onto it. He doesn't awfully like it on that right foot, cuts back onto his left foot. Now he'll get a shot away, he's lifted it over the bar, and it will be a corner. Took a deflection, and before this corner is taken, let's cross to Vicky Sparks on the touchline for BBC London.
It was just a reflection on that comment you made, Steve, about Adebayor playing for Tim Sherwood. In the programme notes this evening, Stephen Taylor, the Newcastle defender, when asked what he thought of Spurs under Sherwood, pointed out they're all playing for him, and certainly that's what's happening to Adebayor.
Thank you, Vicky. Well, certainly there's quite a few defenders when quizzed about who the most difficult striker to defend against. They name Adebayor. As the ball comes in from the corner, it will be Newcastle to try and break out from the edge of their penalty area, and it's Sissoko, this man mountain. He's tackled though on the halfway line. Ball goes way up in the air, and it will go out for a goal kick at the far end of the field. 56 minutes gone here on the home of London football. It is Newcastle 0, Tottenham 2.
I think the main thing that's struck me out with this Tim Sherwood's, the new era, I think AVB overcomplicated everything. Down to his substitutions, to his tactics, to his form, to everything. I think Tim's just come in and just simplified everything for the players.
You're great players.
Basically just said, you're great players, entertain me. Work hard. The best teams in the world work hard, and I just think they're playing with the freedom they never had under AVB.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I mean, the games that I watched towards the end of that time under Villas-Boas, I mean, they passed it to death but never hurt sides, and it's just so different now. You watch them and you're excited, you're enthused at what they might do. Here's Lennon battling back on the edge of his own penalty area. That's another symptom of or a sign of what Tim Sherwood's done to this side. They are attacking in numbers, defending in numbers. Great teamwork. We saw the same with Roberto Di Matteo at Chelsea when he managed to come in after Andre Villas-Boas. You just saw that uplift. You can get that at clubs, but I've got a feeling Andre Villas-Boas will come again at a European club. It might just fit the way he does things, but maybe English football, that will be it for him. It's just possibly just not suited to the hurly-burly of the Premier League, the more scientific, slow build-up approach. Corner from the left-hand side for Newcastle. It's floated in towards Williamson. Does head it down, but Tottenham will pick it up with Kabul. He's looking to try and break out, and he spots Lennon halfway line. Lovely little flick ball from him to Ventolin. If Ventolin can spot Lennon here, they might be in again. Ventolin continues his run, finds Lennon left-hand side of the penalty area. It's great working back there from Sissoko, who's one of the only players out there who can live with Lennon for pace, and he gets the ball away from the hovering the winger. Tottenham pick it up again on the halfway line. Moussa Dembele, the upright running stance that he has, brings the ball forward. Now Bentaleb, this very, very impressive midfielder who knows, might battle his way into that France World Cup squad the way he's playing. In the end, the ball is booted out by Capoue, who's spotted that Kabul is suffering a little bit. He cleared the ball forward towards Lennon, maybe was caught making that clearance. He's down on his back and will require some treatment. I've got Dawson on the bench tonight, but we'll just see how this treatment works out to him while he's down. Let's go to Vicky again on the touchline. Vicky?
Yes, and as that happened, Michael Dawson was sent out to warm up by Tim Sherwood. A few of the Newcastle and Tottenham subs warming up just to keep warm. It's absolutely freezing, but Dawson particularly was sent out directly by Tim Sherwood, just kicking his heels up now, and Sherwood will just have to wait and see if he does need to make a substitution.
Well, Vicky will bring you news on that if it does happen. Before, while this is happening, let's get across to the Emirates Stadium, shall we? Second half underway there between Arsenal and Manchester United, and reporting for BBC London, Onka Desai.
Well, in the second half of the Emirates, and is Arsenal 0, Manchester United 0. Again, both sets of midfield cancelling each other out. But United have started the second half a lot better, looking brighter down the flanks, using Valencia a lot more down this right-hand side. And the substitution at half-time, Rio Ferdinand, he's come on, moved into the centre as Raphael went off, and Smalling has come in and shuffled across to right back. That's the only change so far here. 15 minutes gone in the second half. It's Arsenal 0, Manchester United 0.
Great stuff, thank you very much, Onka. 0-0 in that one. I think most people would have thought goals, given those two teams, the way they play football, but it may just be cagey, given what they came into the game having experienced, Steve, at the weekend.
Yeah, very possibly.
Both under a lot of pressure. Arsenal, everyone's questioning them, of course, after another defeat. They really were, given the run around in that first 20 minutes at Anfield. Manchester United, a late equaliser, knocking the stuffing out of them against Fulham on Sunday. United going down the table in 7th place. Arsenal could go top tonight if they can get a win in that game. Tottenham will be hoping Fulham can keep up the battle against Liverpool, because they could make some points up on the team from Merseyside tonight if they can hold on to this 2-0 scoreline here, and Fulham can do them a favour against Liverpool. Everton against Crystal Palace called off earlier this evening due to the very heavy winds they're suffering in the northwest of England. Also off tonight, Man City against Sunderland. Down goes Debussy. It is a free kick to Newcastle just inside their own half. Man City, of course, up against Barcelona next Tuesday, a week on, just coming up on Tuesday, so around 6 days' time. And before that, they have Chelsea in the FA Cup coming up on BBC London at the weekend. Steve will be there for that one, and certainly a real game to look forward to. I just wonder what Man City will do with that Champions League tie looming on the Tuesday night after they face Chelsea. Back go Tottenham, trying to win the ball back on their own goal line. It will be forward to Paulinho, hooks the ball around the corner. That will go out for a throw on the far side. There's going to be a change for Newcastle here. Let's go to Vicky Sparks, who can tell us who's coming off, who's coming on. Vicky.
Yes, it's Hatton Ben Arthur who is coming on for Luke de Jong. So Ben Arthur, starting in the defeat to Chelsea at the weekend, was left out of the starting lineup today, and but will come on. So then after he can play out wide, he can play off the striker. It may mean that he plays off obviously, so he can play up front alongside as well. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with Alan Pardew in terms of the way that he reshuffles that. And Andros Townsend as well is going to come on for Tottenham, but they may have to wait and see who's for, because there's a player, third player down on the far right hand side, and the referee's just over there. I'm not sure whether anything happened off the ball. I think somebody just had a feeling a little injury, and the Newcastle fans not impressed because they don't feel that's legitimate. Dembele, I think it was, who was just struggling a little bit there, and he will come off, and Andros Townsend will come on for Tottenham. So making his second appearance since returning from injury, came on against Everton of course on Sunday, and it's Dembele just taking his time, receives a pat on the chest from Emmanuel Adebayor, scorer of Tottenham's first goal here this evening. Newcastle fans not incredibly impressed with the time that Dembele is taking to get off the pitch, and Aaron Lennon just stretching his legs there. Dembele will come on, and Townsend will come on.
Thanks, Vicky. Change made then by Tottenham. And Steve, Townsend, it'll be more like having two out-and-out wingers. Probably won't cut in quite as much as Dembele has been doing, and will give the left-back Dummett a severe examination now with 27 to go.
Yeah, I mean, unlike Dembele, I mean, we're talking genuine pace now over on that far side of the twin threat, the twin wingers of Lennon and Townsend on that side. Also Ben Arthur's come on, so that's also another threat for Spurs. You know, he's more direct than De Jong is, so keep an eye on him.
They're going to need some magic to get back into the game, Newcastle, but he's the sort of player that is actually capable of that sort of thing. He's been in and out, hasn't he, really, since arriving at Newcastle, but very highly rated, because on his day he's just magnificent.
Oh, it's an enigma though, isn't it? Because he can be brilliant one week and absolutely garbage the next, and you know, he does have that X factor. He can do something spectacular.
Newcastle have gone 4-2-3-1 by the looks of things, with Ben Arthur in behind, Cisse is the central of those three, just in behind. Here's Sammy Obi, the left-hand player of those three, the second trident behind Papi Cisse. He's on the ball again here, getting the ball back into Hassan Ben Arthur. What can he do? Just drops a shoulder and just gets away from his man with ease. Plays it through, that's a pass back. In fact, just a toe point behind by Andros Townsend. He was under real pressure from Dummett down that left-hand side. It will be a corner to Newcastle left-hand side.
Yeah, great drive from Ben Arthur, was it? Right to the Hotspurs defence. Luckily, it was Townsend who was running back there. He's got the pace and he managed to put the ball out.
25 to go at St James's Park. Tottenham leading by 2-0. In comes the corner, comes off the back of Paulinho and away by Tottenham Hotspur. Wow, that was very, very close to complete catastrophe in the Tottenham defence there in a footballing sense. The ball is held up on the left-hand side. It comes to Ben Arthur on the left now, will drive towards the byline, can't get his foot around that before it goes out for a goal kick to Tottenham Hotspur. They're trying to deal with a bit of Newcastle pressure at the moment, Tottenham, but at the moment just not being stretched to their fullest.
Well, it's come on and straight away, looks lively, doesn't he, Ben Arthur? He's driven in down that left-hand side a couple of times. Seems to be wary of them, maybe need to get a man, maybe just to mark him just for a few minutes, just to take this thing out, because he's he's lively. When he gets on the ball, he likes to get his head down, and he does run a defensive, doesn't he? So just have to be wary for a few minutes.
No game for Tottenham at the weekend, of course, knocked out of the FA Cup by Arsenal, so they can go for this right through to the United. They haven't got to worry about games to come or anything.
I think as well, goal difference may possibly be crucial come the end of the season if you're looking at that fourth place position.
They're going to have to go somewhere and catch up with the likes of Liverpool on goal difference, aren't they, as well? Because I think their second top scorer is behind City, and not that far behind actually if you look at the goals scored. So that could be something very much in Liverpool's favour at the moment. Chance for Sammy Obi to win the ball back for Newcastle. Tottenham get it though. Adebayo will play it back into midfield. Capoue helps it out to the right hand side. Townsend's on the ball now. Still 1-1 between Fulham and Liverpool as they head into the second half at Craven Cottage. So 1-0 to Stoke against Swansea. The Britannia Stadium, and still 0-0 between Arsenal and Manchester United. Sammy Amiobi down the left, ball cut out on the right-hand side of the defence by Kyle Walker. Throw into Newcastle left-hand side.
Well, the wind hasn't played as much havoc as in the game as we thought it was. I don't think the winds have actually strengthened that much since the start of the game, but it's raining incessantly. It really is. It's still downpouring, and I think it's very difficult. The ball's really racing off the surface, isn't it? First touch, very, very important.
Tabushi. There's a solid first touch there. Williamson's under pressure though. Great pressing from Paulinho.
Yeah, it's been a feature, Andy, all the way through the game, isn't it? And I think that's something Tim certainly installed in his play, is the work rate and the pressing all over the place. It's been really, really good.
Some question marks about a few of those signings perhaps in the summer. We definitely haven't seen the best of Eric Lamela and Roberto Soldado yet. That might not be completely down to the players. They came into a team that wasn't really functioning at full pelt, but Paulinho, I don't think he's let anyone down yet, has he? He's been a great signing.
No, it's been like a duck to water, and unfortunately it does take certain foreign players several months before they feel comfortable, with the language, the surroundings, and before they settle into the English way of playing. In terms of physicality as well, some of them need to spend a bit of time in the gym just to get up to speed with that sort of thing.
Not him though. He's born for it, isn't he? Paulinho. Ball out of the left, Summit will hit a first time cross. No. It's the answer to that one. Floats it miles wide, out for a goal kick, and any Stoke City fans listening, it's Chico time at the Britannia Stadium. The defender who's not Mr. Popular with the West Ham fans has scored against Stoke at the Britannia.
It's 1-1. What, the odds he fell over when he scored?
Well, with heavy winds there, he might be in a bit of bother.
That ponytail was all over the place, like when Andy Carroll missed it.
That was the battle of the ponytails between those two. It's a ball up in the air. Gouffran helps it on. Cisse flicks it back in field. Nice touch from Ben Arthur. Renan Anita gets the ball out to the left-hand side, and it's flicked on down the line for Dorrit Check. It's a ball shot straight across goal, and it's just wide. What a terrific run forward that was from the youngster. He's claiming there was a deflection. It's not going to be given by the referee. It's wide. But what enterprising play from Dummett, the left back, the substitute.
Yeah, he's played in a really advanced position in the second half. I mean, it was a cross-come shot, but what a great effort it was. Really, somebody should be on the back post. And Andros Townsend's come on, and he's spent virtually every minute of his time on the pitch so far working hard defensively for his side rather than on the offensive side.
Aaron Lennon wins a header, headline. That was a great leap from the wee man, and he gets the ball back in field. Tottenham has just kept it in there on the touchline. No, Paulinho just comes off him, and it will be a throw-in on the right-hand side. Another change coming up for Newcastle United. Let's go down to the touchline. BBC London's Vicky Sparks is there.
And Sylvain Marvo is going to come on for Sammy Amiobi. He's worked hard, Amiobi. You can always say that of Shola's younger brother, but Alan Pardew just wanting to change that around. Another attacking midfielder, Sylvain Marvo, so he will probably come on and play in a similar position to Amiobi, perhaps a little bit more centrally, but like-for-like essentially substitution from Alan Pardew.
Thank you very much, Vicky. Player that the local fans actually really enjoy watching, Sylvain Marvo. He's a really busy central midfielder. Hasn't quite had the sort of game time that they would have liked during his time at St James's Park, but he's quite a lot in the Anita role actually. They're quite similar, both not the tallest central midfielders. They scurry about, keep the ball moving, and it shows that the squad here, when it's at full strength, is actually pretty solid, isn't it, Steve?
Yeah.
Why they got to the position they did early in the season.
Yeah, I mean, it is a good squad. There's a lot of very good attacking, talented players in the side. I just don't think Alan Pardew can fit them all into the same side, because I think he weakens them by playing too many. I think Spurs, the two centre-halves have been really solid tonight as well. I think that's been key. I think Cabool's come in tonight, and I think he's been excellent, isn't he? He's been a real rock at the back, and he's probably joined in a lot more as well, probably more so than Jan Vertonghen. We normally expect him to be the one who breaks forward.
Headed away by Kabool. It's out for a throw into Newcastle. Adebayor now, 7 goals and 11 Premier League appearances this season. That's 2 more than he managed in 25 matches last season. That's a really quite incredible statistic, that one. As the ball is One back by Bentaleb for Tottenham, and Townsend's away down the right-hand side. He will scurry forward, and there are three threats coming down the middle here. He'll pick out Paulinho. Back it comes to Townsend on his left foot. He can't get the shot away. It was a good foot in there. Coming back from Ben Arthur, and Sissoko will bring the ball upfield for Newcastle. Now Ben Arthur looks for the crowd saying, come on, let's go, let's drive at this Tottenham defence. Gets the ball out to the left-hand side where Gouffran is coming forward. He will cut back infield onto his right foot. That's a great strike, and a great save as well from Hugo Lloris. Strong arm, pushes the ball out to the right side, and it's kept in there, is it? No, just the referee. That must have crossed the goal line just before coming back into play. It will be a corner to Newcastle. And what a great shot that was.
Yeah, super effort from Gouffran. Checked in on the right hand side. He let rip very, very early, low back lift, and that was moving. It was moving all over the place. You can tell by how the goalie was. And he managed to get two solid hands onto the ball. He's actually made 2 or 3 good saves tonight, Lloris.
Absolutely. Ball floated in from the corner. Adebayor is the man who's up there on the edge of his 6-yard box. Dummett with the header. He can't get it on target. Maybe a little nudge on him as he tried to get that header in, but ball comes out to the left-hand side. Ben Arthur will swing it in towards Cisse. It's Debussy with the header, and another brilliant save from Lloris. Over the bar it goes, and another corner to Newcastle. Great play from the French keeper.
Right, to save right out the very, very top ball. Great ball in the left-hand side. Towering header, and that was a fabulous leap by Lloris to pull it out that top corner.
So, corner from the right-hand side this time. Tottenham being examined severely for the first time. In it comes. Adebayor heads it away. Up in the air it goes. Comes to Ben Arthur, edge of the penalty area. Don't give him a look at goal. Now Anita. A little pitching wedge forward into the edge of the penalty area. Might come for Kabul for Tottenham. He can attempt it clear, and Capu's clear. It comes off a Newcastle attacker out for a goal kick at Tottenham. They try to claim a corner there. It was never going to happen. Another change being made by Tottenham Hotspur here. Let's go to Vicky Sparks, who can tell us who's coming on and who's making way.
Yes, Aaron Lennon is making his way fairly slowly off the pitch, and Nasser Chadli is going to come on for Tottenham. So again, wide threat there being offered from Chadli, like for like, and still attacking substitution by Sherwood. He's not shutting up shop. He's not just wanting to hold on to the result they've got. He's just saying, well, we're doing pretty well. We might as well continue as we're going.
Thank you, Vicky. It's a great point, isn't it, Steve? That's the way he's done his substitutions generally since taking over Tim Sherwood. Even if they have been ahead in matches, there's no sign of, right, we'll bring on another defensive midfielder and shore things up. Usually he says, right, let's see if we can carry on taking the game to them.
Well, again, that's another change from the ABB area where I think he overcomplicated his substitutions as well and went ultra negative when actually, you could have put your foot down and gone for extra goals, and that's the one thing.
Football on the right numbers, wasn't it?
But also, if you're in the team and you're playing and you see your manager making positive substitutions, I think it brings positivity to the team. Whereas if you make a negative one, like, you almost get the feeling, oh, here we go, we are hanging on for the last 10-15 minutes of the game. I think you start believing that.
It's not being reckless. It's not the old 5-man front line of days gone by with Tottenham under Ozzy Ardiles, which some thought was maybe a step too far, despite them all being amazing players, but not the way this Tottenham side. They do take the game to the opposition. They've got a throw in midway inside their own half. Norton will take it. Let's go back to Vicky Sparks, who's got more for us. Vicky.
Yeah, just on that point, Steve, I remember Jose Mourinho saying about the Juan Mata transfer that there were several occasions where he was going to bring Mata on, but then Chelsea scored, and so he didn't, and that's the difference. Sherwood would likely have made an attacking substitution, well, an attacking player for an attacking player. Managers like Jose Mourinho and Andre Villas-Boas have a very different approach when they're doing well in a game.
So Newcastle on the ball with Sissoko. In defeat to Cisse. Out it goes to the right-hand side. It's Marvo. He'll float a dangerous ball. There was a real stretch there for Vertonghen on the edge of his penalty area. The sort of stretch that would have me in trouble for a few weeks. The old hammy and the muscles that I would have to stretch to do that, but fit as a fiddle. Jan Vertonghen. No problems for him. Adebayor has it left touch line for Tottenham Hotspur. Infield it goes to Nabil Bentaleb. Plays the ball off. Will be across to the Emirates Stadium in just a moment to find out how they're going between Arsenal and Manchester United. But Tottenham on the attack here down the left. Chadli's crossed in. It's headed away by Williamson. It comes to Gouffran on the edge of the box, and he will play it upfield to Papis Demba Cisse. Out on the left-hand side. Keeps the ball in play, looking for support. Plays it down the line now, and in the shoot there is Dummett. He can't quite reach it, and it will be put out for a throw-in by Tottenham Hotspur off the Newcastle player. Spurs throw in right hand side. Let's see if we can get across to the Emirates then. Arsenal taking on Manchester United. What a game this is for the ages, but not quite happening tonight for the sounds of things. There for us is on good side.
No, absolutely not at the moment, Andy. The ball is whipped in by Sandy. There's a near post and the ball has just missed the goal by literally yards as you just came to me, Andy. As the ball whipped in by Sanya, and I think it was Giroud who couldn't quite get on the end of it. So the best chance in the second half came 15 minutes ago. The ball was played in from the corner. Header came in from Koscielny. It was cleared off the line by Antonio Valencia. Two substitutions just made in the last couple of moments as well. Zissi's come off. On comes Oxlade-Chamberlain, and Januzaj's come on for Juan Mata. Arsenal 0, Man United 0.
Thank you very much, Onken Asai, reporting there from the Emirates Stadium. We will keep you posted on the closing stages of that game, starting at the same time as this one. So 12 minutes to go here at St James's Park. Tottenham leading Newcastle by 2 goals to 0. Everton against Palace was postponed tonight due to very, very strong winds. Man City's game against Sunderland also called off tonight. And we didn't get Brentford either. They were called off earlier today, this afternoon, their game against Sheffield United, which would have been a big game for them. They could have had clear air between them and the other teams at the top of the table, Wolves and Leyton Orient. The O's suffering a third defeat in a row last night, but Brentford will have to keep their powder dry on that game. We will bring you news, of course, on BBC London as soon as we get it of when those games are likely to be replayed for the London side that have been called off tonight. Still 1-1 between Fulham and Liverpool down at Craven Cottage. We'll be across there shortly. We'll get the latest there as they're into the second half. It's 1-1 between Stoke and Swansea. Well, here is Newcastle on the attack, trying to get back into the game. It's played in towards Cisse. Great defending by Yunus Kabul. And the ball will go out off the Frenchman for a corner. The team in black and white, Newcastle United. Back it comes to Ben Arthur, floated in the cross, headed away as far as Debussy. He's come closest in the second half. Header down! Maurice is there again. I don't know how much he knew about that one. He got in a good position and kept it out. That's the most important thing, Steve Froggatt.
Yeah, great reactions again though, Andy. I mean, how many times he got down, he's made, I think, 4 really good saves now. 4 really good saves. So, at the end of the day, as well as Spurs have played attackingly, the goalkeeper deserves a load of thanks as well, because he's made 4 world-class saves tonight.
He could well be man of the match, because 2 of those go in. You're not taking the 3 points away. So Hugo Lloris, he's had a couple of days where it hasn't gone quite right this season. We remember the start of that game at Man City, where it was a very, very difficult day, of course, for Hugo Lloris with the 6 going in, but he's played absolutely brilliantly tonight. Plays the ball forward. It's over out of Ayor's head though that time, and that will go all the way up the other end of the pitch. And Tim Krul will keep it in at the other end of the field. Of course, he's up against a lot of his countrymen tonight, which I'm sure he'll want to be putting on a good performance for that reason. I think the French manager watches actually a lot of the Newcastle games as well. Keep an eye on a few of the players that he will be taking to the World Cup. Somehow they got an excellent group in France, despite being late qualifiers. The ball comes in from the left-hand side to Newcastle. Gouffran is trying to break through the Tottenham defenders, but can't get through the match ranks of blue shirts there, and they will come away with the ball, will Spurs. And that is a really brilliant bit of play from Paulinho. Thinks it past his man and then picks it up again. Infielder goes defence to left. He's going to fire a shot in left-footed, swerving dangerously, but always just over the bar. We're hearing there has been a goal at Craven Cottage. Fulham against Liverpool. Emma Jones.
And Fulham are back in front. Skirtle trying to clear the ball. Just dropped it into the path of Kieran Richardson, inches out. Fulham 2, Liverpool 1.
Wow. There's the expression that we all had on our faces here at St James's Park. Thank you, Emma. Wow. What about that? Still a long way to go, of course. That 8 o'clock kick-off, that one. So we're still at least 25 minutes away from the end of that one, I would have thought, or just about coming up to 25 minutes. So we will keep you posted on that one as soon as this game's over, of course. But Fulham leading Liverpool by 2 goals to 1. It could turn into a really stupendous night for Tottenham Hotspur if things continue as they are. Out it goes to Chadley on the left-hand side. He drags the ball forward off his right foot, now cuts in field, squares it. Paulinho looking to get a shot in, plays it to Townsend. Townsend strike kept out by Krul. Adebayor on the volley, bounces up, and into the back of it, and it goes. Emmanuel Adebayor scores again. Of course he does. It's what he does. He goes across, this time to salute the Tottenham fans who are about a mile above him in the away end here at St James's Park. Up in the heavens, they're celebrating wildly because they never would have believed it would have been this good tonight. 8 minutes to go. It is Tottenham leading Newcastle by 3 goals to 0.
Yeah, the two Derby are leaving on mass, and that is no exaggeration. You've got to feel sorry for Newcastle keeper Tim Krul. He's made another excellent save again, isn't he? He's beat it out to the penalty spot, and Adebayor does an element to look to that, because I think he completely missed it into the ground. It bounced and looped over Tim Krul, who was stranded on the floor, and ended up at the back of the net. But Spurs won't care. 3-0. This is an emphatic away victory.
It certainly is. Absolutely awesome stuff from Adebayor, who now has 8 goals in 11 Premier League appearances this season. And there's going to be another change for Tottenham, and it's the main man who's coming off after saluting the crowd, and Vicky Sparks can bring us through for the substitution.
It is Emmanuel Adebayor, Tottenham's 2-goal hero this evening. Does look like he's moving a little bit heavily. It's probably because he's run his legs off, but we'll see if there is any knock that he's picked up there afterwards with Tim Sherwood when we speak to him. But Roberto Soldado has come on to play up front for Spurs.
I think the slight concern, Andy, as well. I did notice actually with Adebayor about 15 minutes ago, he came to the touchline and he's obviously got some hamstring pants on, and he was holding the insert between his backside and his thigh, and anyway he carried on, but he was moving like actually there may be something a bit more in it, so I certainly hope not, because he has been absolutely outstanding tonight.
He quite often has a bit of a hobble and he comes off Emmanuel Adebayor, especially after scoring twice on the night. He's probably just saying, okay, look at that, what did you think of that, Tim? Let's hope so anyway. As Steve Broggett says, he has been a huge boost to Tottenham Hotspur in the second half of this season. I thought he was excellent at Southampton, and he's been on a similar level today, but the performance hasn't really dipped since coming back into the side.
No, I mean, also the great thing as well for Tottenham is, obviously they're trying to get up with those in the top 4, but the teams are dropping points all over the place. Man City, they dropped points at Norwich, Chelsea last night, at West Bromwich Albion. Looks like Liverpool more than likely could drop points tonight at Fulham. The teams at the bottom of the table, they're doing a sterling job of pinching points of those at the top of them, and all Tottenham can do is continue in this vein and carry on picking up 3 points.
Steve Broggett alongside me, Andy Rowley, and Vicky Sparks here at St James's Park, where Tottenham's fans are delirious, really, aren't they? I mean, this is really something. They've suffered here in the league. They haven't won here in almost a decade. It was Timothy Atuba, if you remember him, who scored the goal the last time they won here in 2004. This is really something for their away fans to celebrate, because they know now that they are getting the 3 points. With that third goal, there's nothing Newcastle can do to stop them, and it's the Spurs fans who are singing at the moment, way above us there to the left-hand side. Free kick on the halfway line. Margot will float it forward. It's over the head of Vertonghen and all the way through to Hugo Lloris. If Fulham can hold on to that, it really would be something. 5 minutes to go. Tottenham leading Newcastle by 3 goals to 0 on Tyneside.
Well, as we know, Andy, as well, those Spurs fans will be delighted. It's been no mean effort getting up to the North East today in these hideous weather conditions. They'll be absolutely chuffed with what they've seen tonight.
Sissoko's breaking through. Lloris has to let him go because he would have given away a penalty there if he brought him down. Now Marvo, Lloris has to come out of his line, flicks it over the goalkeeper, but a foot in there from Tottenham just managed to take it away from the on-rushing Newcastle player, and they can bring it upfield. Tottenham on the counter-attack. Out on the left it comes to Kyle Norton, foot on the ball for a second there from the former Sheffield United defender, then plays it in field. Bentaleb will drive forward. He's got support down the middle from Soldado, plays it out to the right-hand side, though, to Townsend. Townsend in field, comes to Bentaleb, leaves it for Townsend. He will continue his run, left-footed shot. It's good, hits the target, it's too close to Krul, and it remains 3-0 to Tottenham.
Now, this is what I'm loving about this Spurs side right now. And actually, Tim said this about Man City, didn't he? You know, when they beat Spurs recently, the thing, and what you got to love about Man City is that they want to score more and more goals. Well, Tottenham 3-0 away from home, you would forgive them for shutting up shop, parking the bus, wherever you may say. But they're still going for another goal, and I think that's great to see, especially for an away performance as well.
Just shows the confidence coursing through their veins at the moment. And look at the kid Bentaleb, just dashing forward. Now he's back healing it. They're playing like Brazil at the moment. Chadley! Well, that's Brazilian if ever I saw it. What a hit from Nasser Chadley. That was Samba-style football. Bentaleb onto the ball on the left-hand side. Back heel from him. And Chadley looking up and nonchalantly finding a top corner. Doesn't get any better than this. Newcastle 0, Tottenham 4.
Right, the architect of that goal, Bentaleb, who's been my man of the match for Tottenham. He's been absolutely terrific tonight. But what a goal that was. That was right at the very top draw, wasn't it? Tim Krul's a big fella, and that ripped right into the top right-hand corner from about 25 yards out. Well, you know, if you want to go to put the icing on the cake for a Spurs victory, that was the one, and wow, what an emphatic victory this was. And this will send a few shockwaves around the Premiership coming here tonight with such a resounding victory to all those around them.
Yeah, all the talk about Tottenham, they're not up to this season, and everyone crowing about Liverpool. Look where Tottenham are in the table, but news from Craven Cottage, there's been a goal, Fulham against Liverpool, Emma Jones.
And it's 2-2 now here. Coutinho with a strike on the edge of the D. Liverpool back in this game. Fulham 2, Liverpool 2.
Thank you very much, Emma. Wow, what a topsy-turvy ride that is for the Fulham and Liverpool fans down there on the banks of the Thames. We will keep you right up to speed with that game as it comes towards a conclusion. BBC London Digital Radio, satellite TV and online. You can find us in all those places. The BBC London sports team bringing you the very best of London football. Tim Sherwood giving a wave to those fans miles up there to our left-hand side. They won't have enjoyed many away days like this in the last decade or so. What a great night for Tottenham fans. If you're listening to us anywhere around the world, there's loads of ways you can get in touch with us on this performance tonight. Tell us about Tim Sherwood, tell us about Emmanuel Adebayor, tell us about Nabil Bentaleb. Get in touch tonight. 020-722-4000 is the number to call. You can text 81333, start your message with the word London. Tweet us at BBC London Sport is the Twitter address, and you can email london.sport@bbc.co.uk. The phone number again, 020-722-4000. Townsend could get even better here. Bentaleb is going to shoot. Is he on the left foot? No. Pushed away from goal. Looking for support now. Finds it from Townsend. They really are playing with great elan now. Tottenham Hotspur, and it's Norton infield. Down the left they will go. Townsend trying to help it back infield, and he's shrugged off the ball, but it'll be won back by Cafu coming forward. Out to the left he will go. Andros Townsend lays the ball off. It's Cafu again. 3 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this game. And then we will be across to the Emirates Stadium to find out what's going on in the final minutes of that game between Arsenal and Manchester United. Also to the Craven Cottage as well, but Tottenham is still coming forward here. Soldado's trying to win the ball back. Sissoko gets it off him with a little help from his friends, and he will bring it forward. And he's going to race away from the Tottenham defenders. Out it comes to Papi Cisse, right hand side. He's going to hold up the ball. He's looking in field. Lays it off to Ben Arthur. Across comes Norton, shields it out, throwing at Tottenham. The place is quarter full? Yeah, full season.
Yeah, and the remaining two army, well, they're making their feelings very clear, aren't they, to what they've seen here tonight.
It's not so much an army anymore, it's more like a gathering. The army's somewhere outside as the ball comes to the left hand side, and it's a chance for Chadley to drive past Debussy, gets past him all too easily, squares the ball, they're queuing up, here's a chance for a fifth. The Townsend shot is blocked by Krul, and it's behind for a corner to Tottenham.
Wow. And do you know what was amazing about that, Andy? There were 6 Tottenham players all bombing forward. There was only 3 Newcastle defenders against Tim Krul. You've got to feel sorry for him because he's made another outstanding save, but you've got to love that. The amount of players, they want their 5th goal. Great to see.
It's a corner from the right hand side. They're going to hold it up in the corner. This is the only thing that's been unlike Tottenham all night. Tottenham give away a free kick. when they're shielding that ball, and Newcastle can clear their lines. A reminder, we'd love to hear from you. The lines are open till 10 o'clock this evening, so you'll have to be quick. We'd love to hear from you on what this new manager, Tim Sherwood, has done for the team. They've won 7 and lost just 1 of the 10 league games under Tim Sherwood. Have your say on the new boss. 020 722 42000. We'd like to hear your thoughts on Nabil Bentaleb. What an amazing find he's been for Spurs. Almost signed for Birmingham City. Tottenham thought they'd have a little look at him, and since Tim Sherwood became manager, he hasn't looked back. We'd also like to hear your thoughts on Emmanuel Adebayor, the turnaround we've seen, and just what this won't do to the race for the top 4 after you probably got sick of hearing about Liverpool and Everton Tottenham fans. Header through the middle, Soldano's after it. You can get in touch. 020 722 42000 is the number to call. Text 81333, start your message with the word London. You can tweet us at BBC London Sport, it's a Twitter address, and you can email london.sport@bbc.co.uk. Last minute of stoppage time now for Spurs to negotiate on what will be one of the most memorable nights for them of the whole season, and in fact for many seasons, at a ground that they have really hated to come. They had a League Cup win here a few years back, but it's been a long time coming this in the league, almost a decade in fact. Boos ring out around the stadium, but not from the Tottenham fans. This has been an evening to forget for anyone who has Spurs in their heart. What a performance from Tim Sherwood's Tottenham Hotspur. Get this, Tottenham fans, it's finished here at St James's Park. Newcastle United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 4.